Maria, mute your microphone, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Garrison, and I want to welcome you to day 329 of Humanity Rising and our fourth day of exploration into the shamanic path. I want to begin today with a report that just came out from climate scientists that indicate that the average 6-year-old today, that's Gen Alpha, born, basically since 2003, 2004, in their lifetime will experience twice as many wildfires and cyclones, 3 times as many river floods, 4 times as many crop failures, 5 times as many droughts, and 36 times as many heat waves as the early Gen Zs born previously. I want to say this both so that we continue to remind ourselves that we have entered the climate tipping point and that we are now in code red. And because of that, we need to reflect ever more deeply on how humanity undergoes a transformation of consciousness commensurate with the crisis in which we find ourselves, which has been produced by a scientific, capitalistic, Abrahamic religious consciousness that has brought us to a catastrophic pathway that may terminate our species unless we undergo a radical transformation of heart. If we're going to do that, humanity needs to remember its spiritual origins in the Great Mother, in Pacha Mama. And that's the shamanic path. All of us now, whoever we are, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, need to engage in the transformational pathway of the shaman. We have to remember nature. We have to learn again the mother tongue. We have to humble ourselves before the earth. And that's one reason why we have convened this 5-day program with Nina and Ray Christ, founders of the Jaguar Path, who've brought to us here at Humanity Rising the deep wisdom of the Karo people, who for the last 500 years have lived high in the Andes mountains, away from the colonial influences of the Europeans. And within the last several decades have been coming down the mountains into the valleys with a message of human renewal. This opportunity is the golden key for humanity in this moment. So it's within that context and in this spirit that I want to now welcome for our 4th day Nina and Ray Christ, Don Francisco, who was there with us on Monday, and Maria, who's been so beautifully translating from Quechua to Spanish to English. And just to take note, they're in Peru. Ray and Nina are in Costa Rica. I happen to be in California, and it's a wonderful world. Ray, Nina, welcome.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Jim, thank you. Thank you so much for, again, this window to the world to share this. We're both listening and we're whispering to each other, repeating some of your words, some of your key words, especially that this is key to understand what shamanism is and how we can all awaken the shaman within is a key to finding our way out of this. I'll quickly say that as you're speaking, I went back a little bit in time. The shaman, just to start with that, what is a shaman? I'm going to go back to the original shaman and imagine and remember when we were still Neanderthal. And there was a shift to Homo sapien is when we were creating that neocortex, when we actually evolved a new brain. So those first ones that evolved that new brain had an upgraded machine. It's like talking about like an IBM from computer from the 80s to your last Mac or whatever, your most recent Mac. That's what can one compute with the other. So the first people that developed that neocortex started telling the rest of the people, started gathering them in a circle. They started lighting a fire and started telling stories. They realized that if they kept everyone together, there was so much more chance for everyone to be there in the morning, because if someone would sleep alone here or there, they would be gone in the morning from a bigger predator. So in gathering and in educating, they created theater, they created education, they created medicine, and they created a common way of understanding, a way of understanding beyond being in fear and in struggle for life. We may all have a neocortex, but we don't all have access to it when we're scared because there's a war, when we're scared because there's a pandemic, when we're scared because there is separation, division. What happens is we all go back to the amygdala and the adrenals, and we're all back to our Neanderthal consciousness. So I invite everyone today, we're going to talk with my beloved teacher, one of my favorite people in the world, who has changed my life, who awoken me from my Neanderthal state through initiations and keys. And each key and each initiation was a bigger aha. Oh, I'm so much more than I thought. Or I can let go so much more and trust. And I can, like you referred to earlier, be so much more in communion with nature, because then I'm more in communion with my own self. We've been married. Don Francisco has given us initiations and a beautiful wedding up in the Andes. We love him dearly, and I'm going to bring it over to him. I am here initiated and pushed to teach. In the beginning, I used to say I was encouraged, but the truth of the matter is that I was more than encouraged. I was pressed to teach with this, a little nudge with both hands and feet. So I'm bringing this to you and translating it for the world to catch up with this beautiful culture and with this wisdom of heart. Maria, if you'd like to unmute the microphone. Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, Francisco.
Buenos
Compadrito.
Good morning with everybody. So this is one of the days that we are going to talk about the Karapai, which is very important in this big community, which is the nation of Queros. So let me to introduce to Francisco. Do you know also this person? So, you know this.
Por favor, hablar poquito para ti, para tu trabajo, y después abrir dirección.
Buenos días. ¿Cómo se habla? Ya kunam unje karpaimanta karpaita chashkinanchis pakki waitikuna panakuna chashkinambak ki karpaimanta remasunchis.
So we are going to talk about Karapai, he said that. Entonces empezamos con la bendición. Abrimos.
Ya estaban en su conquista Antensuyo Calpanta, Pumas Calpanta, Machahuay Calpanta, Pumas Calpanta, Quintas Calpanta, Conturpa Calpanta, Pachamama Calpanta, Hanapacha Calpanta. Con un Calpato Jacuso.
No, abre direcciones, mira. Abre direcciones.
Ya.
Ari. Limasan.
Ato Amaro Pachamama. Yana Pawaiku, Calpachawaiku, Chastichawaiku, Hatun Calpaikita, Sumas Calpaikita, y Masumas Calpaikita, que es ceremoniata, que Carpaita, que Naikupa, que Carpaita, más tarde Naikupa, Yana Pawaiku, Calpachawaiku, Chastichawaiku, Hatun Sachamama, Hatun Machafaya, Hatun Kucha, Mama Kucha, Unomama, Kuchamama, Hampumoy, 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 Hampume Ahoy.
Ahoy!
Ahoy.
Hatun Puma, Chopachinche, Sumas Konanga Calpaikita, Coyoaico, Hatun Calpaikita, Sumas Calpaikita, Carpaita, Living Laftaman, Living Munduman, Chichinaikupa, Masterinaikupa, Sumas Takonanga, Sumas Carpainikita, Coyoaico, Pampo Mesaiok Carpainikita, Hampumoy, Hampumoy, Hampumia Santa Terra, Hatun Puma, Chopachinche, Hatun Calpaio, Hatun Suncayo, Hatun Chopachinche, Hampumoy, 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 Ahoy.
Luchai!
Gente, hatun gente, mensajero gente, Tanya kunang chinti nipi mondoma, nipi laftaman ki manya kuskaikuta, hinata kunang ki mensajero gente, nipi lanta mastarinki, sumasta, hinata imasumak yacheni kita munani kita koyumaiko, sumak gente, hatun karbaini kita, alto mesa karbaini kita koyumaiko, sumak espiritu kita, hatun espiritu kipi, mastarinai kupata, ahoy! Atong konto, atong apuchin, sumak apuchin, kalpata ko aiko, sumak warpaikyo ako ni waiko, kuraka kulik kontor, atong kontor, hampumoy, kontor, atong kalpayo, atong yache inyo, muna inyo, atong pako, atong kurak pako, kuraka kulik kontor, hampumoy, yana pawit, kalpachay, chaschoy, hampumoy, atong kontor, akoy! Anda tera Pachamama, Sumak Pachamama, Merisino Pachamama, Yana Pawaiku, Kalpachawaiko, Hatun Kalpekita Kawaiko, Pachamama, Pachamamita, Onumama, Huchamama, Kuichimama, Sumak Mama, Hampumia Mama, Kunak Sumakta, Imasumak Kalpekio, Imasumak Yueniko, Imasumak Yachiniko, Koyoaiko, Kalpekita Koyoaiko, Nokapa, Generataki, Yanka Masikuna, Pahlipilan Bahia. Hinatah lipinki Estados Unidos Europa lipilan yana pa ikalpanche saminche proteger hatun kalpata sumak kalpata Pachamamita ima sumak Pachamama ima sumak michikura viña chinki ima sumak papata risasta sarata porta kuna viña chinki chimi wahamoikiko kalpaikita hatun kalpaikita ahoy Taitehan apache Cristo papá una sumafta yana pawai kalpachay samchay ki hunas tarikuiko que yo era man tarimana osikuna sumafta kaya kunan kalpata pawai katong kalpata sumak kalpakita ila tercera pucha o cantanca gracias ampumoya khawari mo ito kanjay mo ito katong kanjay sumak kanjay ni kyo sumak espiritu yana pawai kalpachay samchay hinata kunan sumafta intitaita mama kiga chashka kuna yana pawai kalpachay chashchoy yacheni kita koyo ay katong yacheni kita Lipin Karpai Jeni kita Koyoaiko, Imasumasta, Hinata Kona Sumat Yanape, Apa Sangat, Apu Salkantai, Apu Washington, Apu Chesta, Wahamoikiko, Hinata Pokuna Opuna, Malepa, Hambumia, Oirone, Hampu, Kaipata, my Hatungai, Sumakalpa. Akoi! Okay, Anyai, or Jason Koi.
Torpichai Sonkoi, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. So I will just give a little context. My mission, our mission, is to translate not just the Quechua and Spanish to English, but more importantly, the context and how can we contextualize this information in our own life. Like Jim said, we have moved into a time where we're in red code, in code red. Things are quite a bit falling apart. And the first thing that falls apart is what is not real. And that's the way that some of the things are set up, from the economy to the way society kind of like is structured. So we see all this division and falling apart. And part of it is there because we've lost the sense of tribe within each and every one of us. Why we are tribe, and that's why we all love to live in cities and be with hundreds or with thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, is like because deep inside us in that old brain of ours, we want to belong. We want to belong in a tribe. So we gather together in what is called in clusters. We say herd for horses, or the pride for lions, the school for fish. Humans gather in clusters. And as we cluster together, again, we kind of like the initial reason is so we could feel like we're tribe and so we can collaborate to have a beautiful outcome. But it seems some others came in and decided to take from that. They say, well, if I have a huge cluster of people, and then I can get a huge cluster of money from them, or whatever it is, energy. I invite you to open your heart, and let's hear Don Francisco talk about this as a key to opening our heart. My experience through my initiations is that every time I would receive an initiation, which was after about 2 or 3, 4 years of training, the first initiation, another 4 or 5 years of training, the next one, and then the most recent one, the one of Aquelleq, the visionary, the seer, was only 3, 4 years ago. Awaken your heart to this. An initiation is exactly that. It allows you, and even hearing about this is initiating you. Allows you to open new parts of your brain, and even more importantly, allows you to open the connection between brain and heart as a thinking apparatus, as a thinking place that we can think and we can explore. I would say 60% of the cells of the heart are neuron cells, brain cells. So, compadrito, Don Francisco, por favor, hablamos con Karapai.
Alto Mesaiok?
Primero Pampo Mesaiok, después hablamos con Alto.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
No payo ka Pampa Mesaiok ta kamana. Karapai ta chashkispan siempre ayurandillapes siempre sirushulapes pirminutarajme Karapai ta chashkina.
Pampa Mesaiok, Ray, just to give a little general introduction about that. So, in the nation of Keros, to be a Paco, so they must to be first, so these experiences that they are gonna to get it, so they start from, they are from child. So probably to become a Paco, one begins at early age. So, and they learn about of the Alto Mesaiok, of the Pampa Mesaiok. They are like assistants, like the people that they are all the time making the assistants of this major people. And then of this learn that they are gonna to get it with this person, they are gonna to make the first initiation. They are gonna to learn the techniques to healing. They are gonna to get it, the experience during ceremonies. Also, they are gonna to learn about the power of Yachay, Munay, Yankai, which is the knowledge, the heart, the body, the energy. So they are gonna first to learn so everything of these superiors or major people that they are in charge to make this activity. After of that, they are gonna just to start with a really system. I mean, the really work that they are gonna to release, to healing, to cure, to help, to assist the people. Is in that moment when they are gonna to divide the Pampa Mesaiok and the Alto Mesaiok. So they are gonna to know what is the difference, what is the meaning of these two levels in this knowledge that they have. So
Maria, excuse me. Can I ask you to come a little bit in because I'm seeing you here. Come. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Let's see all of you.
So he say that he's Pampa Mesaiok. So he say that he is Pampa Mesaiok. And what does mean the Pampa Mesaiok? The Pampa Mesaiok is the knowledge, is the connections, is the knowledge to help to the people with these three fundamental values that they have, which is the Yachai, Monai, and Yankai. Also, they are going to use, or maybe they are going to do ceremonies. They are going to use some medicinal stone work also. They are going to read the coca leaves also to know the knowledge. So, but in general, one of the meaning of his activity of Francisco is gonna to try to introduce of yourself and know what kind of thing are you feeling. Maybe you have problems with the emotional things, you have problems with your body, you have problems with the physical. So everything is gonna to be in this level, which is the Pampa Mesaiok.
Beautiful. Beautiful, powerful, very powerful. Sí, Francisco, por favor. And if you have a moment and you can spell it, put in the chat box how you spell Pampa Mesaiok, Alto Mesaiok. So Pampo Mesaiok is Mesa is the medicine bundle that the shaman holds. And within that medicine bundle, do we have one easy with this? We'll share one ours with you. Pampo, in Spanish, they've used the Spanish word Pampa is the valley, and Mesaiok, Mesa is the medicine bundle, Yoke is the carrier. So both Nina and I, you can tell which one's in Nina and which one's mine. These are our mesas. There, Francisco, sí. Francisco's with his bells on, ready to go. So Pampo is the valley, Mesa carrier. Alto Mesaiok is the high Andean Mesa carrier. And here we have stones, crystals, and all the tools that we use, elements of the earth. There you go. Elements of the earth that help attune the client, the person in disease, to come back to the earth, to come back to balance. Sí, por favor, Francisco, continuar para Pampo Mesaiok. Maria, your sound.
Yeah, good.
Gracias.
Conecta con Andes, Pampa Mesaiok Pacha, Pacha Mama, Mario Mantica, Juana Mantica, Mama Simona, Mama Ofno, Sonea Mujia, Paikuna, conecta con Andes, que Pampa Mesa Karapai. Yashkinanjispa, Sumasta, Yacheninta, Monaininta, Yankaninta, Pampa Kalpanta.
So Francisco said that the Pampa Mesaiok is really connected with the Mother Earth. It's really connected in this stage. And also is connected also with the ceremonies, with the despachos. The despachos, which it's one of the conjunction of so many things, stones, feathers, the fat llama. So every element, the sweet elements, so are included in this ceremony, which is the Pampa Mesaiok. And also, he said that in this layer, in this level, which is the Pampa Mesaiok, so they are gonna to make the combinations of these three fundamental levels that we were talking in the other sessions that we were having, because it's very connecting. So we can know, we need to know the difference between the Pampa Mesaiok and the Alto Mesaiok, because the Alto Mesaiok also is going to be one of the major levels. It's going to be one of the layers when the Pacos or the Shamans are going to have more knowledge about the winds, about the trees, about the rivers, about the lakes. So they are going to have more knowledge. They are going to have more sense to feel these elements. But in the Pampa Mesaiok, so they are going to feel, they are going to feel in the sense of the people that they are going to help. So he said that, Francisco.
Beautiful, yes. And again, the Pampo Mesaiok as a first initiation is the key and is the awakening. And tomorrow we'll share a little bit of the videos of some of the initiations to see Francisco initiating us, just to get an idea of how that looks like, the little bit of the ceremony, the 30 seconds, a minute of that. But the essence is that they take the mesa, may I? They take the mesa, and one of the things that you'll see is this. Right, is this
limpia.
Is limpia. But this is like essential to, and here, awakening the pineal gland that connects the spirit, tapping on the heart and awakening the connection. And so here I'm talking about something really pragmatic, to really awaken the pineal gland and the heart and connect these mechanically. So when one receives the Pampo Mesaiok Karapai, the rites, essentially you've activated the earth keeper within you. You've been appointed to be healer and a light for others, but more importantly, and first of all, you have been asked to step up to the responsibility of how your actions affect the earth. What do you use? What is the garbage? What is your carbon footprint? To become an earth keeper means I assume responsibility for my mother. This is my elderly mother and I'm taking care of her.
And I would like to just add, beautiful. I would like to add that, as Maria was saying, that as young children, they're part of the ceremonies. They're assisting, they're helping, they're right there next to the elders, to the shamans, and learning. Like little by little, they're learning the ways until they become ready to really be ambassadors of Mother Earth and uphold and represent the qualities, the integrity, the honesty, they call it aini, the correct relationship to. And when they have come into this space of full embodiment of the ways of the shamans, of the Pacos, then they are initiated. And I think of it in the Western world, we may think of it as a promotion, is receiving like, okay, you're ready now. And when you're ready, they do like Ray was showing, they're tapping, and it's connecting. The mesa is filled with they call kuyas, and the kuyas are these stones, and I showed like any of the stones. This stone now, as they initiate me, this stone is now connected to the elder stones, which is connected to their teacher's stone, and so, yet the lineage and the lineage continues in that way. And so I wanted to share that because I feel sometimes it's not just about being born into a family and just getting rocks and just standing and saying, okay, now I am in charge of the ceremony. It's a process, it's a way of being, and someone that's holding space and leading a ceremony in, say, Despacio has been trained and is really, I feel, as an ambassador.
And has been trained is like, I feel the importance of that, like retrained, like to re.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. ¿Tú quieres hablar un poquito para Cuyas, para Pampo Mesaiok Cuyas? Maybe we'll have Francisco talk a little bit more. Your microphone, please, Maria.
Ki kuya kunaya ki Pampa Mesaiok chashiskapi ki misapi jana anki misapi ki misa okupi anki kuya kuna chia Pampa Mesaiok karpanapach ki atinyo kaya suma poderniyo Kimi yachenio, monainio, liancainio, que coya, que me turraito, que coyan hasta ancesturmanta, machula olumanda, que coyaca, alguien que me pacuna, epembeca, misa epembe, carcan, kimi paikunang misakiteng churarkan kimi kunang kama tatara auloy kumanda no kai kup si shalay to ki Karapai ta Pampo Mesaiok Karapai ta ki pumak kalpanta kimi ki kuyaka ki epipikan.
Okay, Francisco said that the Kuyak is the meaning of the, I mean, it's one of the mastered levels of the Pampa Mesaiok and Alto Mesaiok. It's one of the highest levels that they are going to get it with the experiences that they are going to have during their lives of those. But what kind of thing they are what is the essence in this level is going to be that these kind of people that they are going to reach to gather this level of Kuyak, they are going to dominate everything. They are going to dominate just all the three fundamental values. So they are gonna just not only dedicated to just only for one thing, maybe like the Pampa Mesaiok, which the domination is this one. So, you know, so the other one, which is the Alto Mesaiok, so is the divinities, the connection with the divinities, the sense to feel. But in the case of this level, they are going to dominate everything. So Yachai, the Moonai, the energy, the windstorm. So everything is what it was connected, and it was for them easier to interpret this kind of the things to help you, to assist you. So
Beautiful. Thank you, Maria.
And I think as you were using the word dominate, I think it's like they become a master of these areas. Would you agree with that, Maria?
Right,
So becoming,
right.
so
It's the integration with all the three fundamental values that they have in their lives.
To know the domain.
and embodiment and a complete understanding of how it's all interconnected so that it can be represented and shared. Correct. And I remember when I was in Peru with Don Francisco, and Donna Bernardina was with us for a moment, and she said, I asked her, how do you keep learning? How do you know what to do in the ceremony and the healing? How do you know? And she said, I listen to Mother Earth, and she tells me, the plants speak to me, the trees speak to me. And I remember in that moment, and she was speaking in Quechua. I do not speak Quechua, but I could understand from heart to heart. There was, as Jim mentioned, this mother tongue. Quechua is this mother tongue. And although I don't know the language, there was a transmission of understanding, of a connection. And then I asked someone like Maria, who was translating for us, I asked, and it was beautiful because if you feel into when Don Francisco's speaking, if you're feeling into, see if you can feel into the essence of what he's sharing. And then as Maria's translating, see how close you were to understanding the words, because I find it's fascinating. Again, I love the way that Jim has translated or spoken of Quechua as this mother tongue. It's within all of us. These vibrations are the keys that can unlock parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't had a chance to be in touch with, in connection with. And by being in the presence of Don Francisco, an elder who has embodied these ways, notice now after being in his presence, if you can feel into the language of the earth, the plants, the trees, and receive the teachings as the elders do. It's profound and yet so simple and accessible.
Accessible.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of silent movie here. I love it. Francisco's always willing, and I think Maria is doing a beautiful job to reach out to what is. And I feel this, we had this conversation, is this academic or is it not? Is it I think it's time, what is really timely here is while we bring the 9-month training to the Jaguar Path, the Jaguar Path 9-month training to ubiquity as a master's program, it is truly a master's program. For those of you who become masters of understanding life, in those 9 months, the training goes 1 weekend a month we meet, you receive knowledge that changes the neural pathways of how you think. As neural pathways and ideas are born, these keys, like Nina was saying, this is like it's an actual key to unlocking. This is not a metaphor. It actually unlocks part of the endocrine system, allowing you to access more of your heart, more of your stability, and more, each person that is trained will have the ability to stay more in the front in the neocortex and the heart rather than being in the amygdala and the adrenals. And that makes the difference of the whole world. A world of a difference, and a different world altogether. Sí, listo.
We're ready, Ray. So
Continue.
ready,
Yes,
so we down.
we are ready. We're always ready. Oh, here you go. We have an example of giving the initiation.
Tukuy yake inia, tukuy yake ingitaita, mama kila, chashkekuna, hampuy, 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 hampuy.
Inviting in Father, Son, Grandmother Moon. I'm bringing in the great pumas from the mountains. Bring Mother Earth to connect with my sister. Connect with the rivers to awaken within her. Comes Pampo Mesaiok, awakening her connection of her. She is connected with the earth, with the sky, with the rivers and the oceans. She comes from the big sun. The big sun stands on her right shoulder. The masculine stands on the shoulder and on the right shoulder, and the feminine stands on her left shoulder, the moon. Big heart, big love, awakening the heart of the Pampo Mesaiok, the first level, the earth keeper. Awakening the belly connecting her to Mother Earth and to the belly of the earth. I invite you, Mother Earth, to embrace Maria. I invite you, Mother Earth, to awaken her and to hold her in every step. She is connected with Mother Earth. She's connected with Mother Earth. She's connected with Mother Earth. Awakening. Come, Spirit, come. Come, Spirit of the sky. Come, Spirit of the universe. Awaken the dome. Watch this. Awakening the pineal gland. This is ancient. Stimulate the pineal gland. She's awakened with beauty, awakened with love, awakened with Mother Earth. Here, blessing her hands. I am blessing her hands to be a healer, to hold the mesa. This is a Pampo Mesaiok's mesa, right? Pampo Mesaiok, awakening, you become the healer. Your hands are the hands of a healer. Awakening the parts of the hand, and I really feel it's coming into different parts of the hand, like puncture points. Awakening the left and the right hemisphere, the masculine and the feminine within her, bringing that all to become a whole heart. The yin and the yang. Many of us tend to go either one way or another. Mother Earth, be here, bless her, be here, bring the blessing to her, awaken her spirit. Awaken her greater spirit, the great spirit within her. The shaman that we all have that is dormant. And there's always an embrace, and always gracias, 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 que lindo, lindo, lindo.
Gracias.
You're lucky today, Maria. One more time, again and again.
I have a blessing day for me.
Yeah. If it hadn't taken all the other times, now it's taken. A few thousand people witnessing that you are the Pampo. Beautiful. Gracias.
Wow.
So, dime, escucha un poco más, hablar con Pampo Mesaiok, con Alto Mesaiok.
Chime pampamisa chashkis kanjis kunanka anchita chashkins chimandaka kunanka levering pampamisayo anemo hanapach pampamisayo hukman yachachinapach karpanapach dispachirwanapach kunanka pampamisayo misata chashkin cheka levering kenki panay suma kunanka initiais chashkis pampamisa chashkin kenki cheka ima suma kunanka kalpa Pachamama kalpawan suma Pachamama kalpawan pumach kalpan kalpayo.
So inside of a part of the Pampa Mesaiok and Alto Mesaiok and the Kurak Mesaiok, so the three levels that we have in this experience, also they are gonna to make the division for so many reasons. I mean, they are gonna to use the Karapais for many reasons. One of those could be the Karapai for the Munai Karapai, for example, the Munai Karapai. The other one is going to be the Yachai Karapai. The other one is going to be the Pacha Mama Karapai. So the Karapai is not only one thing related to this one, or maybe the Alto Mesaiok. It's going to be related also for some things that you are gonna missing in your life. So in the case of the Munai Karapai, for example, so they are gonna to try to create the balance with this third fundamental value, which is the Munai, the love, the unconditional love. So in the other case, which is the Yachai Karapai, also it was related to the knowledge that maybe you are missing. So if you are missing the love, if you are missing the knowledge, if you are missing the energy, you are missing some things, so the Karapai is gonna to help you also to gather these kind of things.
Maria, this is fascinating, and this is really so deeply interesting. As a yogi for 20 plus years, and my beloved wife as a martial artist for 20 plus years, we have ventured into figuring out how to move the energy in the body. And I don't know if everyone heard this. Maria said the Karapai is the initiation, as to awaken the key, or I even feel sometimes it's like the lawnmower, give it like one of those pulls to activate it, get it going. So it's not only that you're receiving and now, oh, you're a Pampo Mesaiok, I awaken your pineal gland and your heart, your masculine, feminine, but like Maria, like Francisco is saying, we are essentially awakening a way of thinking, a way of feeling, and even more importantly, Maria translated really well, it awakens the energy, and that is the energy we're talking about in yoga and in the martial arts. When you go to martial arts, we call it ki or chi, and in yoga we call it prana. So it awakens the prana, because what happens is like we could get lethargic, we could get energy not really moving in our body, and we can be in an apartment, we can be in a home, and that all boggles down our energy. To awaken it means like an espresso and to get moving. And once we move our chi and connect these two centers and we have energy in the body, we're able to awaken out of that, what I was calling my previous Neanderthal state, to become a Homo sapien. Mm-hmm. And now I'm inviting everyone from Homo sapien, let's become these light beings, bringing a new way of being in the world. Sí, gracias, Francisco. Gracias. Otro. Dime, por favor.
Remamps, ashka kunata. Runa kunata, ashka
Ya
kunata.
kunanqa kay Pampa misata tashkensaq Alto misatenta kunan Alto misa asho mas kallpata asho mas kay q'intiq kallpanta hina tukuq kallpanta paykunaq kallpanta kunan mañakusun lipin apukunaq apu awsankati apu sawqantay apu Washington apu chasta lipinpaq kallpanta conectakusun kay Alto misata chashkisun ñawpa paqukuna Alto misa chashkiqa hatun rayuta chashkiranku ñawpaq Delambaku rayo haperkan chimanda Alto-Misaqa karkan kunanqa mana Alto-Misa tukukapuni. Entonces, Alto-Misa kallpantaqa chashkishallanchis ki karpaypi, ki misapi chashkishanchis Alto-Misa kallpanta, Alto-Misa espiritunqa mana waninchu, kawsashanmi. Espiritu, ñawpa paqukunan Alto-Misakuna karkan Wirnawal Kurus, Antispinusa, Pilischura, hina paykunaq kallpantan chashkishanchis kunan, ki Alto-Misa kallpanta.
Francisco is talking about of the Pampa Mesaiok, but it's also making the mention of how is the process of this one? What kind of process, what kind of a stage has this one? In the case of the Pampa Mesaioks, they are gonna to pass first for the cleansing of the body and connecting with the Munay, Llankay, and Yachay. And then of this one, after to cleansing the body, the mind, the soul, they are gonna to call to the creators of the constellation, the heavens that we have in the constellations, the Father Sun, the Mother Moon, the stars, the Viracocha, which is the maker of the world. And after of that, they are going to call to the Apus, the sacred, the holy mountains, the condor, the eagle, the siwakente, which is the hummingbird, the sweet hummingbird, the jaguar pad, the serpent, the great serpent. And also they are going to call to the Pacha Mama, the Mother Earth. So they are going to connecting in these three levels. The upper part, the upper world, the Kai Pacha, which is our world in the earth, and the underworld, which is just the world of the spirits. And the level world, which is just the last stage of this Pampa Mesaios, is going to be the four winds. So like the Kuntiwaira, which is the winds of the west, the wind of the south, the wind of the north. So they are going to connecting these three levels that they have. They are going to internalize these three fundamental values using this element and in this level, which is the Pampa Mesaiok.
If Mayor, you would
Go
like
for
to.
it.
Okay, we're both so excited. Who's going to say more about this? We're talking about awakenings, and it's very easy for us in the modern world because we receive so much information from the screens that we get that, oh, this is my life, and then everything I'm hearing is just information that is somewhere about some other people or someone else. But what we're talking about here is an awakening that is all about you. Every person, you that are there right now, feel these words that you're hearing, and how is it that, and what parts we can awaken, you can awaken. There are a lot of parts of us because we've created this technology and we have the houses, the heating system or the air conditioning, We have everything equalized and served to us, so then we don't have to think or feel too much. And that numbs us, and numbs us to the seasons, numbs us to that connection, to how do you go and get water. It's not as easy just opening the path. How do you get light in the summertime? How do we awaken these parts of us? And these are the four directions of who you are. Right? And there's this description also we see in the cross, the four directions of this reality, and how do you download and awaken. So there's an initiation that we awaken essentially from you were saying earlier, we were talking about the mountains.
Yes.
I really love that part where you talk about the mountains.
Yes, and as Maria and Francisco were sharing, first they begin with she said the limpia, first they do with a clearing. And in Quechua, they refer to the heavy energy as hucha. And I really like that because I know for myself in the past, there's a label of, oh, I'm really upset about this, or I had a loss or a challenge and I feel heavy-hearted, or whatever the energy is that may be holding me back. If I label it and cling to it in a way of the mind and conceptualizing it, it almost can feel overwhelming or impossible. Yet when the Keros, the Pacos, talk about cleansing the energy and releasing any hucha, and that Mother Earth loves our hucha, she takes it like fertilizer to produce more fruits and flowers and love for us. There's something that allows for that cleansing to really come into a space of ease and releasing that heaviness, that hucha. And once that is cleared out of the three levels, the thinking mind, the heart, this body, as I feel into those three levels being cleared, then I can connect to the greater energies of the Viracocha, the cosmos, the divine, this amazing divine energy. And then coming to the Apus, these are the mountains in Francisco, when he's calling in the directions, or when he's doing an initiation, the Karapai. This is where the mountains, all the way to the peak of the mountain, connects with the divine. And on his you don't have one on you today. He has an inti tie. It's a tie that has white beads on it. Maria, if you could show us, representing the purity of the divine. And as we connect with that divine at the top of the mountain, at the base of the mountain, we are rooted in the earth. And so we're calling to these big apus, these spiritual mountains, these spaces where initiations, big pilgrimages take place. And as he's bringing in the spirit of these mountains, we're connecting that to our heart and to our whole being, and then connecting to the earth. But first we clear out the hucha before we bring in this beautiful, beautiful, pure, I want to say just like
Power.
luminous, pure prana, energy, chi, however you refer to this energy that really initiates and ignites. And the initiation is a process. It's a process that is not done by one person alone. This is, if you saw Francisco and Maria, this is when we unite, we can evolve. And
It takes a village.
Yeah. And I see it as spiraling upward and accelerating the evolution of mankind by connecting with the roots, but connecting with the lineage of the teachers that continue to share and continue to say, hey, we need more earth keepers. This is a chance for you to step forward and become an earth keeper. And you can start right where you are. There's nothing more you need to do than just fully be you.
Diving in.
Yeah.
I'm just excited as always. It's just a lot of energy that has been initiated and is moving. I love one thing I want to point out that Nina said, and this is again our work to translate these little nuances that make huge differences. Nina said that Pacha Mama loves to take our hucha, and she uses it as fertilizer to give us back flowers and vegetables and fruit and all this beauty. And in that, there's a hidden gem that we don't have in the West. So if I've been traumatized and I remain with anger, I've been traumatized and I have this fear, I've had this or that, and I go to my therapist and I do this and this and that. In most cases, I feel that all the traumas also come with a stigma that I am the traumatized person, always come with a guilt that's like, well, I've had that, I have a problem. We're here when we're talking about healing, and the way we approach healing is like, you are perfect. There is nothing you need to change. And if there's something weighing on you, it's hucha, it's heavy, Mother Earth says, give that to me, my child. Bring this, and I will give you back fruit.
I think of a mother wiping your tears or holding your heart, right? It's that same love and affection.
Okay. Compadrito, gracias, compadrito. Ahora, ¿listo? Hablar un poco más, por favor.
Sí.
So much patience and so much love.
Ki Karapaywanqa wayqikuna panaykuna sumaqtaki ñan camino kicharikunqa hatun ñan kicharikunqa sumaqta que espiritualmente camino que misawan que qori misawan lipi wayqinchikkuntapas pananchikkuntapas pampa misata alto misata karpasunchis hinata karpaykusunchis Kurak Aquelleqtapas kunturpaq kallpanta mañakuspa chaypaq kallpanwanmi espiritunta mañakuspa Kurak ñawpa paqukunaq ñawpa runakunaq kallpanta mañakusun hinaspa chaywanqa chay espirituwanqa ñuqanchis llank'ananchispaq nataq wayqinchiskuna pananchiskuna llank'ananpaq purinanpaq sumaqta yachachinanpaq.
Francisco said that the Karapai is the profound spiritual connection. So it's the right way to found our principle or our principal healings, our principal illness. So also every action and reactions that the people are gonna to do is gonna to relate it to the Mother Earth. So if we wanted to understand also what kind of Karapai we need, so what kind of Karapai we need, how they know what kind of Karapai do you need. So maybe you are missing the soul, are you missing the energy, are you missing, you have problems with some, maybe you have some problems, some emotional problems. So what kind of Karapai they are gonna to recognize to help you. So in that case, so in the case of the Pampa Mesaiok, as is Francisco, he tried to help to the people doing the Pampa Mesaiok because they are gonna to recognize what kind of Karapai they are gonna to use. So feeling probably your heart, feeling probably your emotions, feeling probably your body. So they are gonna to try to recognize, so feeling these kind of things.
And I want to say a couple of things here and say, first of all, that when they know, shaman, the word shaman means the knower. And you were saying something about the tracking.
Yeah. As Maria was translating and saying that they have the ability to recognize what is maybe depleted. Maybe there's part of you that needs to be restored. And I think of this as not a negative thing. This is sometimes in life, if we have a responsibility or we have a position that we need to fulfill and we want to uphold that, sometimes we reach beyond ourselves and we become depleted out of dedication, out of sincerity. You can hear the monkeys in the background. And the shamans, the seers, are able to know that without words. They can track the energy and feel into your presence and say, okay, my sister, my brother, allow me to offer support in restoring this energy that has been depleted or that may be skewed and out of balance. In the Taoist practices, which I'm deeply rooted in, they say that the mind becomes twisted from too much thinking in the modern world. We spend so much time with energy in the mind that the energy is pulled out of the lower centers, out of the heart center, and drawn all the way up into the mind. And we have, if you think of like a figure eight, it's like this big section here, and then the bottom doesn't have as much energy. And the shaman is able to balance those three energy centers and offer balance so that you can come back into your center, back into alignment, and walk on your path represented by your best version of self.
Yeah, and whole self.
And
all
whole self.
Parts of the self.
Yeah.
Gracias. Okay, and I want to speak to something. I've been presenting with Francisco for the last 15 years to different places, countries, and there's times that we've been in front of 60 or 100 people, and he allows himself. Watch how, do we need to teach meditation to these people, or does he go into this deep place easily? Por favor, sí, hablar más. Para todo palabra es una benedicción. Every word is a blessing.
Bendición. Tukuy yachayninta, tukuy munayninta, tukuy llank'ayninta, hatun inkari Alto Mesaiok, hatun quyari Alto Mesaiok. Chaykunaya yanapan, chaykunatan wajanchis lipin inkakunata, inkakuna kallpanta. Hanajpachaj Kalpanta, que viven a Pukunaj Kalpanta. Otro más bendición. Alto Mesaiok.
Right. Francisco say if you wanted to see the presentation of the Alto Mesaiok ceremony with me.
I think everyone would love to. Sí, sí, sí. Sí, por favor. While it's very, very, drink it all in, drink it all in. While it's very similar, the words are different. Opening the Veracocha, opening his luminous field and encompassing her in his luminous field, because his luminous field is protected by the globe, the night globe that we call the Veracocha. I invite Spirit to name Maria the Alto Mesaiok. Come, big mountains, Salcantay. Inviting the big ones, right? The ones that 18,000. Awaken this person as an Alto Mesaiok, as a higher vibration person.
And having received this, notice the pressure applying Maria.
Becoming an elevated feminine. Hatun, the great feminine. Become an Alto Mesaiok by becoming the great masculine. We have all this division in genders, back and forth, men or women. We're all one. No one would be here without us being here. Let us bring the balance back in. Let this war of genders be done with. Let us walk as men and women, awakening the heart as a man and woman, awakening the belly, connecting her navel with the navel of the earth. Come. I invite you, Great Spirit, to be here. And she's bringing in some of the saints, San Juanillos, and so there's like a welcoming of all religions. And again, awakening the pineal gland. Alto Mesaiok, I now pronounce you. You're an Alto Mesaiok, an Alto Mesaiok. Alto, right, of the high Andes, the Mesaiok, the mesa carrier of the high Andes. And here I want to say that here when the shamans come here in February, which falls to the 19th, everyone that will come here, you will receive the first initiation, the Pampo Mesaiok, Earth Keeper's initiation. Activate your hand and your heart to bring protection as an earth keeper to the earth. Right, this is initiating her palms. In the center of the palm, and we have Laogun point, the pericardium 8, this point that's connected directly to the heart. And that's what is connected to the heart. Have healing hands. Actually, doing a spiraling movement to her luminous field, to her magnetic field, that awakens the energy and the connection. Watch the heart to the mind, the heart to the brain, right? Connecting the two, because like Nina was saying earlier, in the West, we're like from here up. We can see very clearly where that has led us, right? We know where we're at now with that. How can we connect? Every time I want to hug you, every time I see this. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Look at the sweetness. Look at the sweetness. Oh my God. Thank you. I can feel that. Gracias, gracias. Es un grande regalo. Perfecto. Maria, how does that feel?
So I feel really good. So I mean, 3 years ago, I have the opportunity to do this also with some Pacos, and it's one of the amazing experiences that you feel inside. So it's completely different, like the religious, like the Catholic religious that we have probably, because it's more internal, it's more sensitive, it's more. They can feel our emotions. So I don't know how they know, but they can feel our real emotions. They can feel our our problems. They can feel maybe some problems with the health. They will feel some problems with the mind, so with the body. So I don't know how they can feel, but I think it's the really connection that they have with the Mother Earth, with the constellations, with the heavens, the connection of these three levels that we have in the body. I think it's that. So it's in my personal opinion that I have.
Mm-hmm.
An experience, your personal experience.
Yeah.
So this is the rundown of that. I think that's really important what you're saying, Maria. That the whole idea of yoga, Taoist martial arts, and shamanism is that the moment we begin to actually circulate the electricity and the chemistry of our body throughout the whole body with equanimity, we receive this. We now have a balanced electrical and chemical system in our body, nervous system, meridian system, and endocrine system. Now, this is what I love about the work, and this is what we bring. The shamans speak and heal, and then we bring in the elements of Chinese medicine, the elements of yoga, how this is actually happening. What's the mechanisms behind this magic? So to be able to become a seer is when again you balance all these energies. Now you have a symmetric and expansive luminous field, a magnetic field around you. And just to say to what I'm speaking to is like, have you ever tried to, like, you're looking at someone that's 100, 200 feet away from you, and they have their back to you. If you stare at them, you can make them turn around. Has that ever happened to you? Right? Or you turn around and you see that someone is staring at you. So this energy fields we put out are very real. And when we're able to put out this symmetric and connect this that he's doing, connect 1, 2, and 3, then we have an energy field that allows us to see in what is called the unified field around us. The unified field is what Einstein called the field that is the combination of gravity and the magnetic field of the planet. So we become a microcosmos, and when we get that shape that this earth has, then we're seers, then we're knowers. So we see, when people come to us, we could see where the lack of energy is, what we need to fill in, what we need to love more, so we can unlock it.
And it's apparent in Francisco's ease. There's not some big effort or some big performance of any sort. And Ray is talking about that microcosm when he brings his hands behind and he brings his hands over. When he brought his hands over Maria, this represents the night sky, the Viracocha, that dome of the night sky. In his microcosm that is reflecting the macrocosm of the universe, he's bringing that protective energy over Maria as he performs the initiation, the Karapai. And that to me is so beautiful. And just like as my practices are rooted in Taoism and the martial arts, just like in the martial arts through the discipline of really learning self, if you feel into Francisco's energy, he is complete. He is not lacking anything.
Everything is here.
He is not in need or in any sort of imbalance. And in that state, he has an awareness of a very highly sensitive, acute awareness of his own energy. So when he comes in contact and he's sitting next to Maria and he feels into, I'll offer Maria this Karapai. It's not even of the mind. He's not a thought. Yeah. It's a feel and a knowing that is very apparent. And in that space, in our 9-month training, we share the practices of cultivating the energy and cultivating that sensitivity for yourself first and foremost, so that you feel your own energy and knowing when there's an imbalance. And from that space of understanding and feeling into your own energy field, then as you step forward as a healer and being in the space of balance, that just that presence alone, just being in Francisco's presence alone, offers healing. The tone of his voice, the language when he speaks, offers us healing. And that is a true Paco in my experience, in my opinion.
Beautiful. So, anything else that Don Francisco, tú quieres hablar? para medicina, para ceremonia. Maybe un poquito para, ¿tú quieres hablar para despacio? ¿Despacio o otra cosa?
Despacho.
Despacho, no.
Despacho. ¿Qué despacho arroba con waiqikuna, panaykuna? Despacho saluspaj, trabajupaj, viajipaj, familiapaj, shin arroba con despacho, ceremonia. Que ikakunawan, mishkikunawan, kukamamawan, mamakukawan. Lipiwan sumasta despacho haywariki, que agustikilla kuna tukuña, entonces kunamos alilaña kashan haywariki manjispaj, salusnjispaj, trabajunjispaj, que ceremonia despacho, hatun despacho, aine despacho.
So, the despacho, which is the principal element that they use in the ceremonies, are related also with the work, with the health, with the. I mean, in the case of the health, for example, the despacho they use to feel the emotions, to feel what kind of emotional problems do you have, what kind of the physical problems do you have. In the case of work, for example, so sometimes the people wants to, or maybe wants to know what kind of thing is gonna to occur in maybe 3, 4, or 5 years more, you know? So they trying to understand by the despacho what kind of work probably you are going to do, how, what kind of the benefits you are going to get it in your life, maybe in 5, 4 years more. So, but the principal meaning of the despacho is going to be related to the health, the work, and also the coca leaves. So the coca leaves is so very important in this despacho because they can know by the coca leaves, by the coca leaves. So many problems. So health, work, the balance in your life. So everything they are going to know by this element, which is the despacho.
Beautiful. And I'll add a little bit to it. The Espacio Ceremony is a Thanksgiving ceremony. We give thanks to Mother Earth for her gifts. And what I loved and kind of like awoken me in the first despachios that I was at is that we give thanks to Mother Earth. And you'll see in the 9-month training, we begin in November, and Ubiquity is the first day of the training. We say, thank you for all the gifts that this training gave us. And then the Western mind say, well, we haven't gotten any gifts yet. We just walked in. It's like hour one of a 9-month training. It's like, why are you thanking? And the answer to that is yes, exactly. It's like we're thanking because gratitude is a state of being of completion, and gratitude is a state of being of openness. Where if we wait to the end, which is quite, I would say, and I realized for me, it's a Western way that I was thinking. And it's like, well, wait, I have to finish the training, see how much I got, and how did it feel for me, to then see how much I want to thank. And that is can you feel it?
It's almost backwards.
Can you feel it? It's backwards. It's just like, no, thank you. Gracias, Pacha Mama. Gracias, Intitai Mama Kia. Thank you, elements, for this. And when I step into gratitude is not a philosophy. Gratitude is an endocrine state of being. It's a hormonal state of being, which when you're in it, you look like this enlightened man that is there between the two worlds right now. Because he can be here and he can be there, and it's all the same to him. And if you're thinking something about it or not, if you're thinking something is maybe we can be like him. I don't need to teach meditation to this wonderful man. He is in a state of meditation. And he's in the pineal gland right now between the dream world and this world, connecting to spirit. And the second I say, can you please speak? It's a heart open, like childlike happiness and purity to share, which is the innocence we've lost. Because somehow in the West, with the technology and the fast cars and the fast planes, we all got smart or got grown up. No one's
Serious.
a grown up. Serious. Yeah, we all got serious. Seriously, got serious about destroying the planet or the other lives. So Despacio, I'm coming back to that, is a ceremony where we offer corn, we offer the wine of the corn, we offer potatoes, we offer coca leaves, we offer seeds. We're saying thank you. And as you gather all these elements, you connect them with the quinto. Maybe show us your quinto. The
I got it in Peru, the 3 coca leaves.
The 3 coca leaves for mind, body, and spirit. Right? There you go. He's going to like this. Right
leaves.
here. So we connect that and we
why-
blow in it. You blow in it. And this is something that is amazing, right? You blow in the coca leaves, and what are you blowing? Your wishes. But your wishes are blown not only with the words you're whispering, your saliva has the endocrine, the hormonal state of that wish. And as you put that in, it's connected. Your gratitude connects you like a beautiful cord lifeline with Mother Earth that then brings everything to you.
I want to add quickly every offering that is given in the despacho has great symbolism. And not to go into all the detail, but every item that is offered to Mother Earth symbolizes something on a greater scale. So the seeds that are given, each of the seeds that are offered in the despacho represents the seeds of what you are asking for, and so on and so forth. So every item is the microcosm. And as we look at what we're offering, it then is represented on a bigger scale and how it is manifested in life, in your own life, but also in the greater community.
Yeah, your life is the community.
Yeah, and that,
your happiness is the happiness of the community.
And that's the meaning of Aini. Maria was sharing with us earlier this week of today is for you and tomorrow is for me. And today I offer, I give with love and joy and admiration. And tomorrow I will receive the gifts. And in being in this space of a balance of give and take, we have these symbiotic relationships that can flourish, and we can really support and love one another.
Beautiful. And perhaps, Maria, we can receive a blessing from Don Francisco for today. Perhaps a blessing for all of the people here present. We have many people, I'll just say that, many. And thank you all for being here. I invite you to open your heart to receive this and see how this feels to you. You're receiving the great love. And we have been blessed and we're guided by Don Francisco and the elders through and through the Jaguar Path training. I was literally pressed to create it, and many of you, and there's many people that are in the Jaguar Path that have taken the Jaguar Path training 2 and 3 years, the people that are with us for the last 12, 13 years, taking it over or coming to trips to Costa Rica with us and Peru, etc. See what it awakens within you. Yeah. So now you receive the great love, and what we offer in the training now, making it academic, is you will receive through the training the great knowledge. Because it's important. The knowledge is power, and now we need to claim our power as humanity. Don Francisco, ¿quieres una benedicción para todos? Por favor.
Costa Rica, Estados Unidos, Europa. Kuna sumahtaya kuna ti bendición ta hato bendición ta. Toku ya chenier, toku monainier, toku ilant ainier hato bendición, suma bendición. Intitaita, suma bendición, intitaita, bendición, intitaita. Mama killa, chashka kuna, toku ya chenier, hato bendición, toku monainier. Apo sangate, apo salkantai. Pampa misaya kuna, alto misaya kuna, Kurak kuna, hato bendición, toku monainier, toku ilant ainier, Pacha Mama, Onumama, Pachamama, Koichimama. Hatun kunan, hatun mayukuna, hatun sachakuna, suma bendición, hatun bendición, suma bendición. Bendice, Señor, te cuide, Señor, te guarda, Señor, te ocororo, canjane, bendición, suma bendición, suma bendice, solamente por tu tía. Y más suma por una barrera, la barrera, campo, bendice, Pampa me sea kuna, Alto me sea kuna, Kurak kuna, música, campo, y música me sea kuna, campo, Tokuya Kenyao, Hatton Intari, Hatton Collari, Hampuya, Nyaupo Papukuna, Hampuma y Buena Verturo, Estura Hampo y Andes, que no se Hampumea.
Hampe.
Yanapa y Cachanque, precisamente porque que hay no somos por una para allá que no para allá campo y campo y campo y campo porque tiene auto con una año auto con la que no más una suma bendición una to bendición so bendicionmente porque que
Gracias, gracias, gracias. Gracias, compadrito. Mucho amor, mucho munay.
todos los Estados Unidos, Europa, Costa Rica, buenos días, añay, topanantes kama.
Anyay, aliyancho, anay, horpichai.
Horpichai Sankoi.
Porque ya son sopa de sumaglia, hatun puma chocochinche, sumaglia re.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd love to also invite Jim back and see if, with all this experience of the last 329 days, welcome back to your show, to this beautiful window to humanity, as we hope to raise humanity. And I was just say, if you have any questions, you've been talking to a lot of people, experts in all these fields, of how do we awaken our humanity to step up to what we're dealing with now. And are there any questions or anything that you would like to pose to Francisco or us?
Well, thank you, first of all, Don Francisco, for a very powerful presentation today, and blessing. When you started your blessing, I went just completely passive and opened my heart center for your illumination and your energy. And I felt it just coming right into my chest, and felt quite emotional as you were ringing your bell. So I just wanted to thank you for that. You know, Ray, the one thing that comes to my mind was the great teaching of Don Juan Matus to Carlos Castaneda. You know, when he said that in the end, the warrior has to take a path with the heart. And at the beginning and at the middle of the end of that pathway, it's all about perception. That the sorcerer's path, the shamanic path, is basically the art of changing one's perception. And I felt that very powerfully in the teaching today, Don Francisco. The power of perception is what closes us or illuminates us.
Absolutely.
And I think over the last couple of days, you have very artfully, Ray and Nina, created a programmatic opening of our perception. So I just want to acknowledge that and thank you for it.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you. We thought you wouldn't perceive it. We do it subtly, but your perception did expand, and you do perceive it. And I always want to say that this question or this prompt for me can make me talk for 9 months, and that I will do through the university, through Ubiquity. There's 9 weekends. Everything is perception. Everything. And that's why I said absolutely. Like, there's no other better way for this. Absolute. It's an absolute. What you think you heard, what you think you felt, what you think the other person said, what you think is happening, that is not always true. What is happening is not what you think is happening. What someone said is not what you heard they said. I'll speak and just go right back to the heart, because again, it is about perception. And we have been educated, we've been uneducated, we've been made or given a way of thinking that is a talking head. It's from here up.
A program, yeah.
It's a program. And it was sweet as it lasted. It was nice. I remember like the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, there was sweetness to the innocence of how we were moved along by people that were guiding us to be going into one direction. Awakening the heart, though, is not a poem or a philosophy, but rather an actual biochemical shift that brings electricity to the front of the heart and that allows you. Now, Harvard Medical tells us about HRV, heart rate variability, and it's really clear that the more awakened person, I'll say it, the smarter, the one with a more broad perception, is the person with higher HRV. But what happens when we get into our head, we lower our HRV. We say, well, forget about this emotional stuff. Forget about what you feel.
Intuition.
So what do you think? You're dropping your intuition. You're dropping what everything is telling you. And you are listening to a brain that has been maybe, quote unquote, educated in the last 20, 40, 40 years, however old each person is, 50, 60, whatever, while you're letting go of your source to feel into your body, which is millions of years old, to feel into a heart that is millions of years old. So we walk around and we have blindfold and we have these buns in our ears, and then we say, and then we all have an opinion about to tell everyone else how they should be. That's like, so it's, it's a little.
And the shamans share this vantage point of a new way of seeing, a new way of perceiving.
A real way.
And I find it's like drinking fresh spring water right from the ground. For me, I feel when I listen to Don Francisco, it's like, drinking that pure water and then having that expanded perception and saying, wow, this is a whole new world. This is magic. This is awe. This is magic.
This is awe, and this is real. So we will be sharing through Ubiquity. This, consider it a master's degree, and if you don't have a bachelor's, and you don't have to take it as a master's degree program, you could just jump in and take this program. All hands up, hundreds and maybe thousands of people that have taken it, all hands up say it's changed my life, because it's simply a different way of seeing the world. And you mentioned Don Juan Matus, and he's in my heart, as Carlos Castaneda is a guide in my life that brought me to my Don Juan Matus, who's in front of us today, Don Francisco, who's awakened me, and we've had conversations through the night till dawn so many times. And I've asked him so many questions where he would just shake his head and be like, it's all here, my beloved one. Stop asking. It's all here. So bring on your questions, because I owe it to everyone. So as many questions as you have.
Ray is that student.
Jim, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ray and Nina. Don Francisco, thank you. Thank you. And Maria, as ever, thank you for your gracious translating between the worlds. We'll see you all tomorrow, everyone, for our 5th and final day of the shamanic path here on Humanity Rising. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Panay kuna.
Gracias.
Hatun munay.
Gracias,
See you tomorrow, Ray.